Wolf Pact, Wolf Pact, Wolf Pact, Wolf Pact.
Try and build an island, tell me why you think we wildin'.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host with the most, the best from the Midwest, the overweight lady lover, the husky heartthrob, your not-so-local supervillain, your global icon and national treasure. Ladies want him, men, they want to be him. Starks, a.k.a. Big Sexy, a.k.a. Hollywood Star Token, a.k.a. Big Chowder, a.k.a. the dark-skinned dynamo, a.k.a. Go Grab the Bill, a.k.a. the Messiah of Maniacal Menagerie, a.k.a. Starsky Hutchinson, a.k.a. Chase Manhattan, a.k.a. Big Papa Blunt, a.k.a. Chase Money, a.k.a. God Body, a.k.a. Wave Cap Warrior, a.k.a. Did the PayPal clear yet, baby? Welcome to the fake Wolf Pact Podcast, the number one, yes, the number one, yes, the number one. And I'm gonna say it one more time because this ain't no motherfucking broken record. The number one wrestling podcast. You ain't gotta check no analytics. You ain't gotta look at no motherfucking Billboard charts or whatever the kids are doing because I didn't get all the hard work for you. This episode is a continuation of the shit show, the shit show, yes, where I'm talking about TNA wrestling. No tits, just ass. I had to look at the screen and double check that fucker. So yes, a continuation where we talk about the rise and falls of TNA Impact Wrestling. What went wrong there? If you were listening to the last episode, we just got into the Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, and the Hulk Hogan era. Oh, and this is the real turning point of why TNA started to fall apart. In the last one, we started talking about where they weren't putting over their younger talent and letting them lose to the older WWE wrestlers that were coming in. Remember this point, so when we come back and talk about it. So right now we're standing and we're looking, it's looking like it is. Hold on, let me get to my motherfucking ledger, fellas. Yes. So as we talk about the TNA Championship, only 3 TNA homebred talent have held that title from 2002 from 2002 all the way up until 2011. That is AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Abyss. Interesting fact, Abyss actually won his title on a DQ. If you ever watch wrestling ever, you can't really win a title on a DQ, so they've managed to do that. And let's talk about bad booking. In this era of the Vince Russo death era, we had a reverse battle royal where the competitors had to fight to not get into the ring, I believe. So it's like once you got into the ring, you had to fight to keep people out of the ring. So yeah, cool. And we got the electrocution chamber. So it's a steel cage that was, running electricity so you can electrocute people. If you get a chance, go look that up. Look up those 2 matches. They are by far some of the worst wrestling matches. TNA is actually home to the worst wrestling match. I believe it is some Survivor contestant and somebody else. I forgot the names. I'm sorry, I've been smoking so much good Chiba. And regardless, it has the worst rating of -5 stars. And yeah, so they've got some, really good gems. They hold some world records. Some people might not want to pat them on the back, but I think TNA should get praised for all the poop things that they do, and they are pretty entertaining, regardless. So yes, we've got that weird title holding, and so we stroll into this era, and Hulk Hogan and Vince Russo are all hopped up onto themselves. They're feeling real high and mighty, and they feel like, why don't we go to war with WWE? So they start up another Monday Night War. This starts in sometime early March of 2009, and this only goes on for less than 10 months, I believe. They roll into this Monday Night War. It starts off, TNA originally was airing on Thursdays and doing pretty well. They had a very loyal fan base. They were getting, I believe, a 1.5 normal rating. For all those people who even don't give a fuck about that stuff like myself, that's 1 million people tuning in to watch fucking TNA. Which right now, we're clamoring at the bench hits for a little bit under 1 million people, getting close to, I don't think AEW's, for certain episodes they hit 1 mil. Regardless, so let's put that all in perspective. TNA is getting really good numbers and not happy with it. They decide to tease that they're going to move the Mondays and compete directly with Monday Night Raw. And on this particular episode, Raw teases that they're going to have Bret Hart come back for the first time since the Montreal Screwjob. So we got this Bret Hart premiere. TNA's got Hulk Hogan, they got Ric Flair, they got Jeff Jarrett. They had some crazy matches, some title changes. They did everything within this night, all just to go up against WWE, and they don't even come close. One of their highest rating nights of all. So they continue to stick with this. They start this war and they get snuffed in it, and they eventually end up moving back to Thursday nights. They within this regime, this Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff regime, we get a lot of Brooke Hogan on TV. We get a lot of Eric Bischoff's son on TV. We get all these older wrestlers getting promoted and put over and done these things. It just, they continue to wash and stomp on their homegrown product that was doing so well for them. I couldn't tell you why they decided to do this and move in this direction, other than the straight influence of Hulk Hogan and Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff. So with those people screwing the fuck out that company, they decide, why don't we switch it up and go family style? Violating it. Dixie Carter steps up to the plate, knocks it out the park as she starts to fuck this up, doesn't know anything about wrestling, booking terrible matches, doing all different types of horrible shit, and having a foul mouth and pissing off their sponsor. She goes in initially, Spike doesn't like Vince Russo. They keep Vince Russo around for whatever reason, and Spike says, what the fuck, bruh? Why are we doing this? You know what? I want out of the wrestling business, don't want to be in bed with you guys. They leave this alone, and they end up going to Destination America. And Dixie doesn't like how Destination America is booking them, and she goes and shits on that sponsor, and they pull the plug on that deal. Then they land on Pop TV, and it gets their lowest viewership yet. Even still now, from them resurging and doing things back. And we're fast forwarding, this is 2014. Dixie has run this into the ground to the point where she has to come on TV and make exclamations to win over her wrestlers. At this point, this is when we have the serious, real kayfabe moment of AJ Styles saying, what the fuck are you going to do? Breaking character and leaving to go to Japan and go do ROH stuff, then going on to become the leader of the Bullet Club. So yes, that, which is pretty dope. Then 2014, we get Global Force Wrestling steps into the picture. I believe they did not renew with Pop, and they move on to a different channel, and they hold them down for a little bit of time. Global Force puts in a decent amount of money, helps them get everything back together. At this point in time, they want to start putting the name Global Force very heavy into the wrestling scene, so that really messes up the branding for TNA Impact. So this is like the 5th or 6th name change at this point in time for them. And at this point, Destination America still has them, and they put TNA at a later fucking point in time or whatever, and they have ROH, Ring of Honor, going on right before TNA. So if you are watching wrestling, that's 4 hours of wrestling, jam-packed right there for you. And so most people aren't really going to tune in for that, and they weren't doing the best of jobs to promote it. So nonetheless, they didn't really like that. We step ourselves into the Billy Corgan era, and Billy steps into a shitstorm and doesn't know that TNA is kind of fucked up on the money side. So he tries to get himself out of that. And Dixie Carter and motherfucking Jeff Jarrett step back into the scene. This time, Dixie Carter's just throwing a little cash, not showing that ass. So Jeff Jarrett's getting everything back together. We get the Global Force Wrestling. We get Anthem behind them. And now we seem to get legs. We are updated. This is 2017. They're back. They're rolling. They're mean. They got a really good roster. You got Bobby Lashley. Cody Rhodes is there. You got Alberto Del Rio. You got a whole bunch of different people. You got Eddie Edwards. You got Magnus, which is Nick Aldis. You just got a really, 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 really good roster at this this point in time. And the telltale sign of what's been hurting and crippling TNA strikes again. So this is Alberto Del Rio's debut, and he comes in and wins the fucking TNA championship from, at that point in time, I believe it was Nick Aldis. So he strips Nick Aldis of this belt, and Alberto Del Rio's fresh from WWE. I think it might have been a couple of months. He did maybe 1 or 2 indie shows, and he just, didn't really do anything helpful for the belt. He didn't do much to help the promotion or whatever. So once again, that leaves us, pretty much at the current date. And TNA does have really good wrestling, but they can't shake the stigma of these bad years that they've had and the bad social awareness that they still do have with Tessa Blanchard. They really didn't pay attention to what was going on with the social climate, and they put the strap on her, and it just didn't mean that much. It got washed because of all the negative publicity that went on with it. They didn't even strike well with all their everything going on with them. So, but nonetheless, I like TNA wrestling, and I wish them the best, and I hope to see more awesome things from them. Shouts out to TJF and Falaba and Moose and Eddie Edwards and Ethan Page. And just it's a wonderful roster there in TNA. I truly do enjoy the product that they make, but they did have some shitty years. So if you have enjoyed this shit show, and if you do want me to talk more about TNA wrestling, trust me, I can talk about a lot more things, and I will continue to talk about some TNA wrestling on the shit show. Well, I bid thee farewell. My name is Starks. Follow me at Villain Starks on all social medias, and follow the podcast at Fake Wolf Pact Podcast. FKE Wolf PACT. Yes, been your neighborhood local villain. Peace.